Guys, my hair actually kind of looks cute with this puff right here. Anyway, I am doing a hot oil treatment today. I have some warm water. This is the water that I boiled my aloe vera in. I have my aloe vera pieces, my oil. I have been neglecting my hair, and this video is about how I am getting out of my depressive funk. So I'm starting off with my hair. But seriously though, I was doing well for some time because I have been mentally and emotionally unwell. And I don't want to sound so dramatic, but I haven't been in the best state emotionally and mentally for some time now for various reasons. And that has a couple of the reasons being my own insecurities about what I was doing as far as showing up in business, in my career, not necessarily making the money that I desire to make. I've been on this journey for some time now, and I felt like I just wasn't achieving what I wanted to achieve in the time that I wanted to achieve it. That was before. I don't feel that way now, but I'm just talking about some of the reasons why I was depressed in the past and why I was mentally and emotionally unwell in the past. I've been living at my mom's house, and I am, of age. I'm older. So that was something that was bothering me as well. And the environment wasn't the best for me. What else? A bunch like other things. And I was going through periods of feeling very alone and misunderstood. Alone as far as family, friends, love life, etc. Again, I don't necessarily feel all these things now. I'm just saying what I felt in the past. And recently, I went on a Healing Girl Winter where I spent from the new year up until maybe like a week ago, or maybe a little over a week ago. I was intentionally healing, and I was spending my time meditating, and I moved into a new environment. I was eating better food. I was observing myself, seeing where I could heal and facilitating that healing process. Like, what did I need to do to help me heal whatever areas came up that I saw that needed to be healed? And it worked. It worked pretty well. I changed my perspective in a major way, and I'm seeing the results of, I'm finally seeing financial results, and my career is moving in a positive direction quicker. Everything was moving before, like I was making progress before, but I just feel like now that I took the time to really heal, my process and my progress is being expedited thanks to my most recent healing journey. But that kind of came to a little bit of a standstill when I had to move back home, or when I came back home. And I'm putting some oil in my hair now. And some of those old emotions have been coming up again. And I've been realizing what I need to do to help me not take steps backward and be in that depressive state again. And I'm realizing what I need to do to help me navigate what it is that I'm feeling and what it is that I am, and just navigate my life in general, what I should be doing differently, etc. So I spent the last couple days analyzing and really processing what that looks like for me. And if you are familiar with my channel, then you know that if you watched my last video, I am working on becoming the woman of my dreams. And that is helping me do the research that I did for that is helping me come out of my depression, etc. as well. So I'm just going to be talking about some of the things that I am doing moving forward to, like I said, help me navigate my situation so that I am doing it in the best way for my mental health, for my emotional health, my spiritual health, without letting anything really bother me, and helping myself move forward into new environments, move forward with my business, etc. So the first thing that I'm doing is sticking to my self-care schedules and taking my self-care very seriously. I think about this sometimes, that sometimes I used to be so depressed sometimes that I wouldn't even want to take a shower. And I know this is not just me, because I've seen other people that do this. Like in my family, I would see other people that were just so depressed, so out of it, that they didn't even want to like take care of themselves, etc. But just simply taking a shower and taking care of yourself uplifts your energy so much. And every time I don't want to take care of myself, and when I still do it anyway, it reminds me how important taking care of yourself is. So I'm prioritizing really taking care of myself and actually doing all of my self-care practices, making that top priority. Because when I do that, I feel so good. I feel so high vibrational. And when I don't take care of myself, everything suffers. My skin suffers. Like, my skin has been going through it. It's getting better now, but my skin has been going through it for some time now. My hair suffers. I remember one time my hair was just not cooperating well a while ago, and it's because I wasn't eating the proper foods. I was barely even doing my hair. So whenever I'm not feeling up to it, whenever I'm not feeling well, I prioritize taking care of myself. I prioritize doing my hair. I prioritize doing my self-care, and that always helps me feel better. And I've noticed that I don't necessarily have to schedule everything. I used to try to schedule like when I do a body scrub, when I do my dry brushing, like the things when I shave, like the things I don't do every day. I tried to schedule it and I realized I don't really need to schedule it. I can just, as long as I have everything in the vicinity and I'm able to see it, I'm more inclined to do it. And I can just think about like, oh, okay, did I do this yesterday? Yes or no? But that's something new that I've changed. Just having my body scrub in the shower instead of making it every day or every time I need to use it. Having my dry brush in my caddy so I see it every day. Also, I realized I have been a bit, I wouldn't even say I'm really depressed per se. I'm more just struggling with my transition. My life is definitely transitioning, especially because I took my healing journey seriously. And it's causing me to be a different person. And I am transitioning into this new person, but it's a little uncomfortable. And I've been kind of trying to escape that discomfort, and I can't do that. But one of the ways that I am navigating this transition period, it's giving me some of the same feelings as depression gives me. That's why I'm somewhat calling it a depression. But I looked into, okay, first things first, let me say this. I use various spiritual tools to help me navigate my journey, like tarot cards, the Bible, what else? The planets, the moon, etc., right? So in one of my tarot cards today, I saw something that said, in one of the messages related to the tarot cards, I saw something that said, balance your yin energy. And your yin energy is basically your feminine energy. And that made me think about, is my feminine energy balanced? And I came to the conclusion that it is not balanced, and that could be contributing to why my transition into this new person is more difficult, because I am too much in my yang energy, my masculine energy, especially right now because I am really focused on making money. So balancing my yin and yang energy to me looks like, after doing more research, it looks like spending more time off of my phone. My phone scrolling, watching content is definitely making it more difficult to show up for myself. And this is science backed and everything, like your dopamine. I'm not really exactly sure of the terminology and how to explain it, but when you get dopamine from your phone, from scrolling, it makes other things seem more boring that you used to enjoy, or that you need to do for yourself. It makes it seem more boring. And I've noticed that whenever I start on my phone, it makes it harder for me to show up for myself. It makes it harder for me to go do my workout. It makes it harder for me to do my task for the day, for me to film my video or script my video or go live, whatever the case may be. But spending more time off of my phone and spending more time in quiet is something that I am doing now to balance my feminine, receptive yin energy, which is also going to help me become the woman of my dreams. Also, what else? Doing more like soft and subtle movement. Working out has been something that I've been doing on and off, and it's great. Like, I want to achieve my body goals, etc. But right now, it's just so difficult for me to actually do it. And, that's not the case every day, but I'm allowing myself to do more subtle movements, like going for a walk, yoga, light Pilates. Like, I'm allowing myself not to have to go so hard all the time, and just allowing myself to be like, okay, walking is enough for today. Stretching is enough for today. And me feeling like I have to go so hard with working out also stems from me not being fully satisfied with my body, feeling like I have to overperform in order to be this perfect version of myself, or in order to be this ideal version of myself. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve your body, but when that comes from insecurities and lack, and when you're like pushing yourself at a time when you're not really ready to be pushed, it can be difficult. And I feel like right now I'm giving myself the space and opportunity to just do less, and to perform at a level that I am at, instead of trying to push myself when I'm not there right now. I'm not there right now. So today, after I do this, I'm going to go for a walk with Mikey. And that's going to be my workout for the day. I'm not usually, I would do, today's Tuesdays, and it is leg day for me. Usually I would do some kind of, either Pilates or, my little glutes sequence with lunges and squats, some various versions of squats, etc. But I'm allowing myself to just be more soft, and that is enough, instead of trying to push myself. And when I do feel like pushing myself as far as working out, I will. But right now, I just want to go for a walk. I just want to do some yoga, maybe some a little light Pilates. But other than that, nah, not right now. And however my body looks is how my body looks. I just want to make sure that I'm being healthy. I think the biggest thing for me right now is just not going on my phone and having more time for me to be silent. Ooh. Having more time for me to be silent, instead of filling my silence with music or with content, etc. So I think that's like one of the biggest things for me right now, is understanding what my discomfort is coming from. And I think everyone's discomfort could be different. Like, even though my yin energy needs balance, maybe someone else's yang energy needs balance. Like, they're not doing enough. Maybe they're not showing up for themselves. Maybe they're in their head too much, and they're not prioritizing building their business, or etc. So that is what my life is looking like right now. Just being slow, just allowing myself to be slow and take my time, and to rest. Not feeling like, that's another thing, not feeling like I have to perform in order to make money, in order to, for the most part, in order to make money. That's one of the things I've been really struggling with as of recently, I am on a money-making journey right now just because my life, that's something very important to me at this time of my life. And I kind of feel disconnected from building my business and the different ways that I could make money. I somewhat feel disconnected from it. Like I feel like there's no way I can do it all. And I'm coming to the realization that somewhat I can't. But on the other hand, I can, but I have to do it in a way that works for me, in a way that is slow, in a way that is patient. You know, I'm no longer trying to do everything fast. I'm just doing my best to show up and follow the plan. And I feel like as I'm following my plan, I'm seeing what isn't working and I'm allowing myself to pivot instead of trying to force myself to make it work. And that is definitely helping me get out of my discomfort and get out of trying to distract myself with other things. Also, that looks like me reprogramming myself and letting myself know that money doesn't only come to me from working. And that is something that I am reprogramming in me. And I'm reprogramming myself by reading affirmations about that, listening to affirmations, etc. Like that is a big part of I'm making it a big part of my journey right now as well. Like not thinking that I have to work all the time for money and allowing myself to know that my existence is abundant. I can meditate and make money. I can stretch and make money. I don't always have to be performing. And I realized me trying to show up and do so much feels so unnatural to me. So I'm moving more towards what feels natural to me. And I'm discovering it. Each day that goes by, I'm just observing myself and I'm like, okay, this is not working. So let me do something else. But at the same time, I'm also not using it as an excuse to be lazy or not to use my resources to help me make money. But I've noticed that anytime I do something that doesn't feel natural to me, I try to distract myself. For me, my morning routine is so important right now because my morning routine and my night routine is where I get to balance my yin energy the most. And midday is when I like perform for my business and make money, etc. But nighttime and morning routine is a very essential for me right now. And not being on my phone during those times is essential. And also I am working more with my cycle. I was waiting until, because I didn't track my cycle the last time that I had it. So I was waiting until I had my cycle again to really be like, okay, this is the day it started. this is what phase I'm in, etc., so that I can just keep tracking moving forward, and so that I can tailor what I do to what cycle that I'm in, because that also has a part to play. I think that, as women, we can't try to do this, we can't try to perform in the same way like a man does, because we change, our body changes, our emotions changes, our energy levels change. So I am making it more of a priority to honor that. And also, another way I am working on healing myself and getting myself out of this just somewhat depressed, uncomfortable phase of my life is by doing a hard reset. And another reason why I was waiting for my cycle is because I want to do a fast. I really want to try a water fast. And there's this woman on YouTube that talks about how women should fast during their cycle. It's the best time to fast. And my cycle just started, so I'm going to make sure that I get my fast in while I'm on my cycle, so that I feel like my body just has like negative energy and toxins from how I've been eating. So I want to make sure that I give myself like a hard reset. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully I can do it. I'm not going to force myself to do any amount of days. I'm just going to do my best to keep going as much as I can until my body's like, all right, girl, no more. But I want to do at least 2 days. And I think that'll definitely help me overall, my mental health, my emotional health. I think I definitely need a hard reset, my gut health. And people underestimate how much your gut health plays a part in not only your physical health, but your mental health as well, your emotional health. Sometimes I notice after I eat certain things, I get angry, my mood shifts. This is not really a hot oil treatment, just because the oil and the aloe isn't as hot anymore. But it's all right. My hair needed to get out of this afro anyway. But I'm excited for this new phase in my life because I'm figuring out what works for me. I feel like sometimes when we are trying to do something differently, we take other people's advice and try to run with it. And nothing's wrong with that, but you have to tailor it to what works for you at the time. Like, for example, I know that waking up early is something that is high priority for me. It's just, I feel like I would get more done. It's just easier. There's more quiet, etc. But right now, that is not my reality. I am not waking up early. So instead of trying to... So what I was doing, actually, let me say it like this. What I was doing before, like I would create my schedule like I was waking up early because I really desire to wake up early. But then I came to the realization that waking up early is going to be something that I have to work my way to, and that's just not realistic for me right now. And I had to rework my daily schedule, rework how I envision myself showing up to match my reality. Yeah. And eventually I will start waking up early. But for right now, I just have to be realistic with myself and what my life looks like. And that is helping me also not be so like down about everything or about anything, because how I am showing up is okay. Just because I'm not waking up early doesn't mean that I'm doing anything wrong. Just because I need to go slow right now doesn't mean that I'm doing anything wrong. I feel like sometimes we can think that if we're not showing up as the ideal version of ourselves, we can feel like we're not enough or we're not worthy or we are not performing. But we're doing great. We're doing our best, and just being realistic with yourself and allowing yourself to make progress is important. And it's good for your mental health to acknowledge how far you've come, but also acknowledge your reality and realistically what you can do. And I feel like that was contributing to me and my discomfort because I wasn't realistic with myself. I wasn't acknowledging what my life really was, and I was only seeing what I wanted my life to be and not and being judgmental of myself and not giving myself grace because I wasn't that person. And I'm balancing giving myself grace without giving myself excuses. And I'm doing that by being realistic with myself, but also not giving myself excuses to not show up or to indulge in things that I know is not healthy, etc. So I'm giving myself a balance, and that balance is definitely helping me show up for myself and helping me be more comfortable with where I am, because I'm being realistic with where I am, what I got going on, what I can do, while also being stern and strict with myself about what I should stay away from, what is not healthy, what is impacting my life negatively. So that is how I'm keeping my balance, and that is how I am showing up for myself, but in a way that is more soft, in a way that is more like I'm kind of like coddling myself like a baby, treating myself like a baby. And right now, that is what I need. And I think that before I was trying to treat myself like, okay, let me give an example. If someone stops taking drugs, they're not going to be able, if someone stops taking drugs, right, and they are fresh out into the world and they're clean, whatever, they're not going to be able to just go anywhere and be fine. They might not be able to go to that party. They might not be able to go to that club. They might have to be more strict with themselves with how they maneuver. And I kind of feel the same way with myself now. Before, I was trying to maneuver as someone who has great discipline, someone who is, I was trying to maneuver as my ideal self, when in reality, my environment, my mental health, my emotions is not in alignment with that ideal self yet. So I have to treat myself like where I am. I have to maneuver as the person where I am while still keeping into account the person that I desire to be. And that realization alone And even saying it again now is making it really click for me. But that realization alone is like a breath of fresh air, because I'm like, okay, it is okay for me to just do what I need to do for myself. And right now, however long it takes for me to achieve what it is that I desire to achieve is okay, because I'm doing it in a way that is healthy for me. And it feels really good to finally accept that. To just accept what I need at this time in my life and not what I desire to be. I'm accepting what I need and not what I desire to be. Not only what I desire to be. I am accepting what I desire to be, and I'm keeping that at the forefront. But I'm also accepting what I need at this time. Like, for example, if you first start like skating or something, you might need the handlebars. You might need the thing to assist you. You can't just go out there and be like, I don't want the handlebars, I could do it myself. Like, you're probably gonna fall so many times, and I'd rather not fall. I mean, falling is okay, falling is normal, but I'd rather not if I can prevent hurting myself. So I say that all to say right now is a time in my life where I'm still healing, I'm still learning, I'm still figuring out how to navigate, and I have to treat myself like a kid or a toddler figuring out how to walk, figuring out how to talk, figuring out how to do these different things, because I am figuring things out, and I got to give myself grace instead of trying to push myself so hard. And I feel like because I was trying to push myself so hard and I wasn't able to reach that level that I was trying to push myself to, I would try to distract myself. I would use my vices and my coping mechanisms to distract myself from the fact that I wasn't reaching the places and the heights that I was trying to. So, yeah. So that's that. But I'm really happy that I figured this out, because I've been using this habit tracker. I talk about it often, and I got this habit tracker from one of the school communities that I'm a part of. And for me, every day, as long as I fulfill what's on this habit tracker, I'm good. As long as I show up for myself every day and do what's on this habit tracker, I'm setting myself up to becoming the person that I desire to be, and to becoming more emotionally, mentally, and spiritually strong. So that is how I am getting out of my depressive funk, this little episode that I've been going through, and just making it more of a priority to stay away from everything that is not healthy. If it's not healthy, I'm cutting it off immediately, which I have been doing for the most part, but some things are a little harder to cut off for me. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. So I basically set up my habit tracker to be very easy in a sense. And a habit tracker is basically, it has a list of 10 habits, and as you do them, you check them off and it gives you a score. And my goal is to just get 100% daily. And as long as I do that, I'm good. And the habits on there, I simplified it a lot to help fit my needs right now, to help fit where I am in life right now. So that's definitely helping me be able to really show up for myself. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I'm accepting where I am in life. That's definitely helping me. Also, this is what I was gonna say. I saw this video about progress, how progress is thinking that you're making progress can hold you back. And um, after seeing that video, I no longer like give myself excuses. Oh, let me do this. I can do this. Well, I'm making it more of a priority to no longer give myself excuses. And I'm just deciding to be this healthier, high vibrational version of myself and not saying that I'm making progress to that version of myself. And even though I am making progress to that version of myself, like I said, I'm not thinking about it in a way of me holding on to negative habits or me holding on to excuses of why I can't show up. So for me, my progress looks like, okay, instead of doing really hard workouts, I'll just do walks and yoga. Or instead of trying to do an hour of meditation right now, I'll just do 30 minutes in the morning. Like, my progress looks different than what I used to call progress in the past. So I'm not using me making progress as an excuse. I'm more using it as a way to be realistic with myself about what I am capable of doing at the moment. So that alone has honestly helped me really be okay with where I am and what I can do instead of trying to push myself to be something that I'm not able to be right now. And that has really been helping me get out of my depression. I wasn't really depressed. It was just I was running from something. And I think that I was running from the fact that I wasn't showing up in a way that I wanted to. But I wasn't showing up in the way that I wanted to because it wasn't realistic for me right now. So after I do this, I am going to walk my dog. We're going to have a nice little walk. It is very nice outside. And another thing, I'm just finding more structure in my life. I'm helping myself do what it is that I desire by having structure and seeing what works for me. Like on Sunday, I created my schedule, and as I've been completing what's on my schedule, I've been seeing what is unrealistic or what I can't really do. So that has definitely been helping also. So that is something that I'm working on, just building a schedule for myself that I can stick to so that I can actually show up for myself in the way that I desire to, while also, like I said, being realistic. My hair is so happy right now. It's like, finally. And then also the reality of my situation right now with just my mental health and how things in my environment are affecting my mental health. I have to also take that into account. Like I said, I was trying to maneuver as a completely healthy person when in reality, right now, I'm not completely healthy. I do have things that are affecting me, and I have to treat myself as such. And I have to maneuver with that in mind. So that is going to affect me. Like, the things that I know are affecting me are actually affecting me. So if I want to get past it in a healthy way and not need my vices, I have to be more gentle with myself. I have to be more slow. So that is something that I am coming to terms with and I'm practicing to help me get out of my depressive episode. And if you are watching this, I hope you try some of the things that I've talked about if you feel like it resonates with you. But the biggest thing I feel is to take inventory of your life and analyze your situation and see what you might need, because it would be different for everyone. The fact that I'm even showing up for myself and going live right now is making me feel really, really good. Like, if I would have not done this, I'm sure this would have fed my negative emotions. This would have fed my depression, etc. So I basically found out what I needed, what really mattered to me, made a list, put it on my habit tracker, and my goal is to just make sure that I do it every day. And I also put on my habit tracker what I am not doing, because I realized if I don't put what I don't want to do on my habit tracker, there's probably more of a chance that I am going to do it. So that is definitely helping as well. I want to do a dopamine detox. I'm just not exactly sure. Like, I watch people's videos on doing it, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it. I'm a little confused. I think I got the gist of it, but I'm still a little bit confused. So I do want to do some more research on that. But a dopamine reset, I think, would be very beneficial and helpful. But as I do my research and learn more about that, just staying off of my phone, I know, is essential. I can definitely see a difference on how I feel when I am more on my phone and when I'm not. And I can feel the difference of how it feels when I'm doing tasks before I go on my phone and when I'm doing tasks after I go on my phone. If I try to do a task after I've been on my phone, scrolling, watching content, it feels so much harder. It feels so much like as a force, and I don't like that. So that is something that I'm working on also. But I am about to end this live. Thank you guys for watching. If you did watch, if you did pop in, thank you. I'm gonna do my hair later today. I really want to get some box braids. I was gonna wait to wash my hair and everything until I get box braids later this week, but my hair needed to get down ASAP. My hair was like, girl. My hair was not happy. Whenever I do too many afros, my hair does not like that. But just doing my hair is making me feel so much better. Also, I realized depression and negative emotions can just be how we're wired in a sense. And this morning, I was watching this video and he was talking about creating a description of what the person that you desire to be, of what that looks like being very descriptive. And I did that. And I also wrote down a list of affirmations. What else did I write down? Yeah, that's it. So I am making it a priority to read that every day, because I feel like some of my negativity could be coming from just my own programming and just allowing myself to help me reprogram myself with what I read every day about, the person that I'm becoming, reading my affirmations daily. I already read a mission statement daily, but just putting more things in my face that is in alignment with what I desire, I think is definitely going to help me feel better and is going to help me make it easier for me to show up for myself as well. After I do this, I'm going to put my hair in a plastic cap and I'm going to go for a walk. And then when I get back, I'm going to wash my hair and then I'm going to do some mini twists. My water is a little warm, by the way. Okay, bye guys.